You're all puppets, tangled in strings. Hey everyone, I am iamxeracon and I have returned like I said it would. Today I'm going to be talking about overrated games. Now, these are games which I find that there's a little too much hype in them, although I'm actually talking about a few other games that were overhyped and didn't really live up to their expectation. And then they sort of you don't hear much about them anymore. I mean, people talk about them. One of the games people still do talk about and play, but it's not really as big as how they said it was going to be. So I'm just going to talk about those games today. First game I'm going to be talking about, and this is something that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time, is Angry Birds. How is that game so popular that they've got merchandise for practically everything? I mean, I remember like hearing about Angry Birds and stuff maybe some years ago. Then I'm thinking, it's just a mobile game, right? It didn't stop there. I mean, they made like merchandise. They made hats. They made beanies. They even brought Star Wars into it. Angry Birds Star Wars. No, leave my Star Wars alone. Do not take something like Star Wars and then bring your filth into it and then just why? I mean, earlier this year, do you remember there was a game called Flappy Bird? Flappy Bird? No, that was a hit game. I mean, for the time. I mean, people I knew were talking about Flappy Bird, and I mean, I never played it. I didn't even play it. I mean, I've played clones of it, but I never played the actual Flappy Bird. But people were talking about it, and they were saying that, wow, it's such a great, addicting game. Um, no one's talking about that anymore. I mean, that yeah, I mean, it was for what it was. It's good for like 5 minutes or so, and maybe a week. But then after that, there's not much left to it. And even Five Nights at Freddy's, it is a popular game, but it didn't overdo itself. It didn't oversell itself by just saying, "Hey, this is a game that's bigger than what it is." No, Angry Birds isn't that great a game. And the same thing about Candy Crush, it's basically a Bejeweled clone. People say, I'm playing Candy Crush. You're playing Bejeweled. And it's just got candy. I'm gonna get so much hate for this one, but Call of Duty. Yeah. That's a pretty much overrated game. I mean, I've never played it, but people really just play it for the multiplayer. There's really no reason that people actually play it for the story. Um, I mean, I'm not sure what makes it so fantastic that, people will be up in lines for it. I mean, I can understand other games. I mean, it's just a first person shooter, and, you know, people just play it for the multiplayer. I mean, I'm not sure why. I mean, other games, they've got great I mean, they're great. I mean, look at Halo. I actually looked online. I never played Halo, but I looked online at the story just to get the story of Halo and stuff. That's a wonderful story that they've got there. I mean, in addition to their multiplayer, which is also popular, but it's got a great single player, mode and with great story. So I can easily understand Halo being as popular as it is. I mean, it's a pretty good game, I hear. But Call of Duty, I mean, honestly, I just don't get it. I mean, you can just look at any first person shooter multiplayer, go online and just play without and get the big deal with Call of Duty. I mean, uh, Metroid Prime didn't have, I guess, a great multiplayer experience, but it was a great single player. I mean, even though it was the first time it was going to be brought to as a first-person shooter, and even being handed to Retro Studios, a rookie company, people did not like either of those ideas, but you know, it was a great game. Um, but you know, Call of Duty, you know. It's also interesting to note that I read a article online one time where I think it was a developer. He actually said that Call of Duty players aren't gamers. Now, I just saw the headline at first because I'm like, this is probably just some sort of link bait, but I clicked it and read the article. Um, I'm not sure how you can find this article. I mean, it was a while ago since I've read it, but if you want, you could just Google like developer says that Call of Duty players aren't gamers, something like that, and you'll probably find it. Basically, he said that Call of Duty players will primarily just play Call of Duty and some sports game, and they won't play any type of game except for those two like games. And he says like because of that, there's not really much the developer can do because Call of Duty players just want the same thing. They just want multiplayer online stuff, and that's it. And then they'll just play some sports game like Madden, FIFA, NBA, that's probably all they're gonna play, and that's probably all they have in their collection. That's what he said. Okay, that's not what I said. Although that really does bring me up to my next game, and that is sports games. Sports games are highly, highly, highly overrated. I mean, I don't see how I would go out and spend 50 40 plus dollars on a sports game. I mean, it's just sports. I mean, how does Madden 2013, besides like roster certain like maybe slight changes, graphical I guess changes, how does it differ from Madden 2012? I mean, what's the big deal of? I mean, someone at school with me said that people are lined up for the next NBA game. I'm thinking, it's just basketball. I mean, it's a basketball game. I can go outside and, well, I mean, I can't because I'm horrible at it, but I could go outside and play basketball. Why do we make such a big deal about a sports game? I mean, every time you turn around, you see Madden, next Madden game, next FIFA. Oh, that reminds me, I was reading my Game Informer subscription, and the game of the month was FIFA. A soccer game. Well, soccer here if you're not American football. But how does that get game of the month? I mean, I was expecting another game, maybe um Super Smash Brothers 3DS, uh The Lord of the Rings, Shadow of Mordor. I was thinking like maybe something like that be game of the month. But FIFA? Come on. It's